You are now listening to the Inner Circle Podcast Network.
Never die. 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 Never die.
All right. Before we get in today's episode, which is a special episode, I'd like to thank my podcast sponsors. Official hip-hop inspired street brand. Look, shirts, hats, hoodies, bracelets. Get hooked the fuck up at official.com. Use code AngryDad at checkout and get 25% off your first order. That's 25% off your first order at official.com. Pit Boss Grills. Look, I smoke meat, I cook meat, I eat meat. And you know what? I use Pit Boss Grills. I own two. I have a vertical and I have a regular standard lay down one, or however you want to call it. I guess it would just be a standard smoker, but that's what I got. So Pit Boss brings the heat to the barbecue market with bigger, hotter, and heavier grills. So get hooked the fuck up at Pit Boss Grills. CH Concrete, serving the San Francisco Bay Area. That is CH Concrete, serving the San Francisco Bay Area. No job too big, no job too small. Residential, commercial, does not matter. CH Concrete can help you. Just mention the Angry Dad and they'll take care of you. Jags is a fully stocked preferred destination for every gearhead, professional racer, weekend warrior, restoration nut who wants to take their vehicle to the next level. So get hooked the fuck up at jags.com. 511 Tactical, purpose-built clothing, footwear, bags, tactical gear for life's most demanding missions. Sundays, if you want to take care of your lawn and you don't want to do the work, get Sundays. You spray, you go. Sundays will take care of your lawn. Hemp Bombs, premium hemp CBD products, high-potency CBD. Feel great, relax now at hempbombs.com. And with today's episode, I have one hell of a writer. He if you read an article in Muscle and Fitness, pretty much any fitness magazine, guess the fuck what? You read his articles, and you know what? He's just done a challenge, and you know it's not an easy challenge. The Arnold challenge is a real deal thing, and we're going to talk to him about it. Roger, thank you for joining the show.
It is my honor and privilege to be on here with you, sir. I will tell you publicly what I told you privately. Congrats on 600 episodes. Hopefully there are many more to come, and I am a fan. So for me, this is a big deal. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. You know, I want to dive into the meat and potatoes of this Arnold challenge. What possesses a man to take on something like as large as that is? You know what I'm saying?
What possesses a man to do it?
Yeah.
A woman.
A woman.
So, here's the story. Arnold Schwarzenegger has a newsletter. And to help promote this newsletter, if you subscribed, you got access to a free ebook. And the ebook had his chest and back superset workout he did from his days when he was Mr. Olympia in the 1970s. If you've seen Pumping Iron and you've seen some of those clips of him doing the flies, the pull downs, the rows, this is what he was doing. I reached out to my editor at Muscle and Fitness and had said, you know, I think I'd like to try this just to see how it goes. You know, do you mind me doing it for a workout and maybe write about it? My editor was like, I don't know if one would be worthwhile. What about doing it for a month? Like once a week for a month. And then, you know, talk about, you know, the gains, you know, did you get bigger? Did you lose size? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, thanks to my work as a writer in the industry, I've done some things with the Arnold Classic, and I've met Arnold a couple times. He's acknowledged this in his newsletter, and I've gotten to know a couple members of Arnold's team. So I texted him and said, you know, hey, that chest and back superset workout, I'm going to do it for a month, and I'm going to write about it. I got a big ha, 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 ha. Please don't die. So I go through it, and I get it done. And, you know, I'm sending them texts, videos, because they're kind of interested. They want to see how this goes. And then the possibility came up, or the suggestion came up of, what if you did them all? We have the full program. And I'd come to find out later on that his book actually also had a program that he had done during his days as Mr. Olympia. The book is the new Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding. It's the big black one that has him doing the bicep pose.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I own that one, too.
Yeah, I literally wore my first one out, so I had to buy a second copy. Because, I mean, there's pictures in there of not only Arnold, but Ferrigno, Franco, Zane, Lee Priest, Ronnie Coleman, all these legends. And, you know, all that knowledge in one book, how could you not have it back then? Because the internet wasn't what it is now.
Yeah.
All right, so try to make a long story short. So, okay, I have the entire program. okay, I'll try each of them once a week for a month and we'll see what happens after 30 days. Well, then his chief of staff messages me and says, Arnold wanted me to remind you that he trained twice a day, 2 hours a day, twice a day, 6 days a week. I'm like, that's the double split. And he said, yes, it is. That's chest and back in the morning, legs in the evening, shoulders in the morning, arms and abs in the evening, calves and abs every single day after the evening workout. And you repeat that for 6 days a week. Like the in total amount is 24 hours of training a week. So out of 7 days, you're literally giving yourself a day in the gym.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I hadn't thought about that because, I'm human. I'm not a Terminator.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You ain't Arnold, but
So-
you're right. Yeah.
So my wife gets wind of this text exchange, and she was like, you can do that. You've trained twice a day before. And I'm like, yeah, but no, not this. Like I've done HIIT workouts a couple of times a day, 6 days. Like I've never been committing 4 hours a day to train. She's like, you can do it. There's no doubt. Like she said it as if like, oh, there's some extra milk in the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can train like that for a month. Well, that kind of pinned me down. So it's like, well, okay, I'm not going to say no to that. So I sat her down and was like, look, this is what it's going to take. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. You and my son, as much as I love y'all are going to have to be on the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it was explained to me is I'm a professional athlete for a month.
Yep.
Because Muscle Fitness is going to pay me to worry about this and to cover it and to do it. Arnold's team is now very intriguingly curious because nobody had ever tried this before. So it was like, well, okay, then I guess we're going to give this a run. So I verified what the program was, and we were off to the races.
Man, for the average listener, for people that, people don't comprehend the amount of work that you literally just put on your lap. You know what I'm saying? And that's the funny part is because, like I said, I understand, I get it, because some people don't even know what a split day is or feels like to recover.
Right.
And even when I had originally reached out to you, you're like, give me a few days to recover. And I was like, I will reach out to you and double check to see where you're at, because the brutality that you put your body through for this entire month. And like I said, I've seen your stories. I've seen the temperatures that are in your garage. We
haven't even got to that part yet.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, people don't even understand, but it's just like, it's just funny as hell because like seeing you doing it was insane.
Well, so here's, for those that may not know, here were the disadvantages and the advantages that came with this. Arnold was in Venice, California, Gold's Gym, and he is surrounded by gorgeous women as well as his training partners being fellow bodybuilding legends that are in magazines and on TV at the day. Like, and some of the guys he's going to be competing against. So he's literally got his opposition staring right at him, and in some cases, they're spotting him.
Yeah.
I got my dog Dozer out in the yard barking at cars and deer as they're going by. That's the closest thing to a spot I've got. So I'm training alone, and my home gym is in a barn. The nearest commercial gym was 30 minutes away either direction. I'm not driving 30 minutes twice a day. And I'm definitely not going to try to work around people to do a superset workout, because then people are going to figure out what I'm doing. And no, it was just easier for me to just go about it on my own. Fortunately, there was a bit of a warm spell here in West Virginia, so it wasn't too terrible. When I say too terrible, the temperatures were like 30 to 35. I think I wrote in the final article, the coldest day I dealt with was 24 degrees. And to do 5 sets of squats and 5 sets of front squats and 5 sets of leg presses in 24-degree weather, I don't wish that on anyone.
Anybody. That's damn near snowing.
Yeah. So the split workouts are, you do a full 2-hour session, mostly supersets and trisets, like a full day's workout in 2 hours. You do that in the morning. You then get anywhere from 6 to 8 hours to get a nap, maybe get some meals in. If you have a job, you go to your regular job, and then you go back that evening and you do another full workout of another body part. So Arnold's was chest and back on Monday morning, legs Monday evening. That was also his schedule on Wednesday and Friday. Shoulders on Tuesday morning, arms on Tuesday evening, and he also did that on Thursday and Saturday. Sunday was his only day off for whatever he wanted. And the only thing I used Sunday for was sleep, percussive gun, foam rolling, and stretching. And lots of food. I didn't get to get too many naps in because family commitments, work commitments. I'm a freelance writer. So besides Muscle Fitness, I also write for Barbend, Men's Health, Muscle and Strength, Garage Gym Reviews. There's several of them. BPI Sports, whose supplements I use throughout this process. And, to juggle all that and to make sure all that was happening while also getting my mind right for the next workout that I'm doing alone in the cold without a training partner, no one there to encourage me. My phone kept me company quite a bit because of the music and the people I was texting to show what I was doing. To go through, I'm trying to think of the toughest thing that I had to go through with all that. I was probably listening to a lot of Arnold's YouTube stuff, like all these different motivational videos, and the hardest part was not having a spotter. So there were times I was taking risks, like squatting 225 for 20 on the last workout of that Friday. Man, I actually strained my right quad around rep 15, but it was 5 reps left, and I'm near the end.
Yeah.
And it was like, if I tear it, I tear it. But
yeah,
and it's going to make a heck of a story if I dial my own sword. But I got the last 5, and I just made a point to limp very little for the next 3 or 4 days.
Oh, yeah. Now, let me tell you something right now. With a lot of the things that you're doing, and what's crazy is people don't understand the mental capacity that it takes to be able to handle, like, the intensity of this workout. Because, like I said, I 100% understand, like, how you're sitting there with the 225 and it's just like, if it rips, it rips. But at the same time, you're not just questioning what you're doing. You're, like, passively and aggressively trying to, like, push past that mental block, and it's so fucking hard.
Yeah, it's a mental grind in that particular moment. In the grand scheme of things, though, it's nothing new to me. I'll reference your episode 600 about all the struggles that you have felt with in your life multiple times. Your body and your mind eventually adapt to things like that. Just like your body adapts to going through the rigors of training, your mind eventually adapts to struggling and knowing how to get through it. And I mean, I've dealt with various forms my whole life, just like you have. We've probably had different forms of adversity, but it's adversity nonetheless. Exactly. And when that comes up, your brain knows how to activate. And you know how, okay, we've been here before. We're going to be here again. Let's just follow the routine. When you know the path, it's easier to get to the end.
Mm-hmm.
And in my particular case, it was childhood domestic violence, 2 alcoholic parents, childhood bullying, and at one time being homeless and unemployed. Mm. I've dealt through all that. 5 more reps on a squat bar ain't going to phase me.
Exactly.
So, that's kind of like, well, I was at the point, okay, if it tears, it tears, but we're getting through this.
Exactly.
I had wanted that 225 for 20 since the start of this Arnold process. And that was the very last leg workout. So either I got it or I was going to consider myself a failure, at least on that particular goal. So I had gotten it. And when I sent Daniel and Noah the video, Arnold's team, I kind of got a holy crap. And they're like, what happened there on that 15th rep? And then their buddy of mine saw it too. And I'm like, nothing. I just had to mentally regroup.
That's it.
So I didn't really reveal anything about the straight quad until later. So, and by the way, it's good now. I can squat. I'll probably be able to squat again this week. So it turned out to not be as serious. Okay. That's the other thing about mental head games. Sometimes when you're in the middle of it, things can appear bigger than they are.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to make sure you acknowledge that. And, okay, this is big right now, but it's not as big as I think it is, and I can get through it.
Yep.
But yeah, it's the hardest part of the mental grind is in between the workouts, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Because you had just got through one. Yep. You're still feeling the soreness from yesterday. You got to go back and do it again. Your cardio is being questioned. Did I eat enough? Okay, I'm getting sick of the same songs. I need to put on different songs. But oh crap, my wife needs to go to the store. My son has homework. He's got a school play this evening. All those things, man. It was just as much a mental challenge as a physical challenge, as I wrote in some of the articles.
Oh yeah, no, that time that's spent, like say, even when you said like it's time to regroup, replenish, and get in, and even too like even during the workouts, it's like, am I taking too long of a rest? Am I resting enough? Do I have the energy to push? And then you start lingering into like, just like you said, I have family obligations. I need to do this. I need to do that. It's like, it's hard to juggle this and do this at the same time, but it definitely takes a dedicated attitude to do this. And just like you said earlier, I sat down with my wife. This is what I'm doing. Understand. I still want to do it. I still got to do everything else, but you know what I'm saying? Like the support that you got from them, yeah, I'm pretty sure it held. Like it was what you needed to get done.
What my wife would laugh and probably get mad at me for saying is she probably felt like she didn't have much of a choice because she was the one that started this. Because she was the one that said, "You can do it. I know you can do it." Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Well, okay, I'm explaining this to you right now because in 2.5 weeks, when I'm in between the shoulder and the arm workout, but I got to run you to the grocery store, and I'm not going to be able to do it until after the arm workout is over." But in all seriousness, my wife and my son were both very, very supportive of this. My nickname is Rock, mm-hmm. But my son was calling me Rock Robot, like the Terminator, because I was doing a robots workout program. He's kind of become a big Arnold fan throughout all this too, whether it's Terminator or Conan or just watching all the funny YouTube videos. He would actually go back and forth watching the Arnold montage of training, and then look on my Instagram page at me training. So it was kind of funny how we were doing some of the similar exercises and things like that. He was like, "You put some background music on this, that'd be awesome."
Oh yeah.
So him actually investing a little bit of emotion into it, cash served as extra motivation for me as well. And I was trying to find all different ways to motivate myself.
Yeah.
Because just like you have to try to overcome the grind, you got to find those ways to trigger the positive dopamine and endorphins to push yourself when you don't want to push anymore. So I was finding things like people saying, "Oh, it's going to be all steroids," or there's no way he could do it, or "Oh, he's faking it," or Arnold's going to laugh when he fails. And I mean, I was spinning all that into my head. And then I was also trying to find as many positive forms of inspiration too. People saying, "Oh, you're making me want to go back into the gym," or "Man, I can't believe you're doing this," or "I need to be pushing myself harder," or "Man, that's a strong boy." I never got comments like that before about myself. My friends would get them. They would tell me about them all the time, but I never got them. So to be on the other end of that was actually kind of fun for me. And that was also serving as some positive reinforcement, which was crucial in something like this.
Oh yeah, no, especially in something like this. Like, you've personally trained, you've done so many things in the fitness industry, working at gyms and stuff like that. But the thing is like, what it takes to push somebody. And so applying that to yourself is one of the most difficult things that it's to do. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you're rolling a solo workout, it's like, just like you said, all the excuses will pop up, but it's the motivation to persevere and push through. And like sometimes, like I said, it's having to have that trigger point to be like, no, fuck. Because I know a lot of times when I was in the gym and I was training, like, fuck everybody. This is what I'm doing. This is for me. I'm going to fucking look so good. I'm going to be done. I'm going to lose this much weight. I'm like, I would set unrealistic expectations and goals for myself, but it's because I needed those to stretch and reach for to be able to complete and finish. Because like when you're grinding out exercises, grinding out the workout and literally trying to show up to do 2 workouts a day, like you have to get nasty. You have to get just like dirty. You have to like put yourself not in a dark place, but in a place where you're like you're invincible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like it's going to sound corny as hell, but I literally was envisioning myself as a superhero at times. Like I'm doing superhuman things because the guy who this was all based on was considered superhuman by millions of people. And as I found out later on throughout this process, he had 2 different training partners throughout most of these. Yeah. So he was the only one that had done the entire full program whenever he was getting ready for the Olympia.
Yeah.
He'd have Franco Colombo doing like chest and back with him in the mornings or sometimes shoulders. But he didn't need legs. He could deadlift 700 pounds and squat 700 pounds. He'd go knock out some squats and leg extensions and call it a day.
Yep.
Ed Corney would be training with him for things like legs and arms. I mean, everybody remembers the scene in Pumping Iron when Ed was doing the 11 reps with 315.
Yep.
He was on my mind quite a bit, God rest his soul, when I was doing the 225 for 20. And I was actually thinking about Ed Corney quite a bit because it was like, okay, he did this, I can do this. Arnold in behind me cheering me on, but he's somewhere out in California thinking this guy's he's plumb nuts.
Yeah.
So I was making it a point to do it. And yeah, you just got to take your brain to a place that it's not normally accustomed to going to.
Mm-hmm.
But like you had talked about in your last episode, it's not easy. And it's not meant to be easy, because if it was, it wouldn't be worth it. In every form of adversity, there's opportunity. And those adversities are coming because there's opportunities there. You have to find those opportunities in the adversity and then seize them, because that's how you grow from it. You know what I mean?
Yep. That's the truth. It's the truth. Those adversities that we go through, those adversities that we struggle and we fight, it builds the foundation of strength that we need to uplift ourselves. And that's one of those things. Just like you said, with those adversities that hit and opportunities that it gives us, it's up to us to walk through the door. It's up to us to overcome those adversities and to be able to stand on them. Because when you stand on them, it's literally a trophy placing hill. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is where I stand. This is how much I've done. This is my reminder. And it's fucking amazing when you get to that point, because if we don't go through, like I said, hard work and what you work for, that's how you deserve. That's how you earn it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like when I was watching you going through this whole process, and even when you posted the last video, I was like, this is the last workout. Hey, come on the show, because guess the fuck what? People at our age are not stepping up to doing things like this. And when I mean people, I'm not talking about like people that are at the gym on a consistent basis. And no, I'm talking about average people like us, like me and you, that have jobs, that work, that have obligations, and we just don't have all the free time in the world, but yet we still carve out the ability and the time to work on ourselves. And that's what I fucking love. Yeah,
that's there's two things about this that I kind of want to make sure is clear to all of your viewers, listeners, what have you. First of all, I'm 41. I'm not a spring chicken when I was doing this.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was in his late 20s when he was competing for the Olympia. There's reasons why people did not expect me to finish, and they weren't wrong. They just didn't know me. Point number two is people need to understand that they are far more capable than they realize. That's why I did this. I needed something to get myself a kick in the ass to get back going again. I didn't create this challenge. This literally happened organically. But as long as it did, this was something I desperately needed. For a long time, I had went through quite a bit of personal adversity. My wife was dealing with numerous health issues, so I put my own self on the back burner to focus on her. It turned out she had cancer. She's now a cancer survivor, so that story had a happy ending.
Beautiful.
I was trying to build a business. My wife had wanted to start her business. Her business got put on hold because of what she was dealing with. We're now moving forward with that. And because of all this, I just kind of put my personal fitness aspirations on the back burner. I used the fitness writing as a job. I trained in the bar for stress relief, but I had no real organized plan. And all that kind of played into me losing a little bit of my self-confidence, which I have a history of. I've kind of been open about that in my articles. So when this opportunity came up, it was like, okay, this is going to be one of the phrases I kept saying this is going to be the Rock Revival. Because there for the longest time, I would not use my nickname. I just didn't, because I didn't feel like I'd earned it anymore. And this kind of gave that back to me.
Hell yeah.
And, I was going to push myself to a new limit. I wanted to see how far this 41-year-old body can go. And, I found my answer. And apparently it'll go wherever the hell I want it to go. As long as this says it's going to go, this is going to go. And, and by the way, I mentioned something earlier. I kind of want to get this on public record because you're the first place I have said this. I've been accused of this a few different times. Not one PED, no HGH, not even testosterone therapy. Like, this was me, mental rage, and physical determination to get through this.
All natural.
It literally, in what gains I've made, some of you can go see my past transformation pics from when I first started. I've never done steroids. I'm not going to sit here and go on a moral soapbox about it.
Yeah.
But me personally, I've always just wanted to see how far I could take my body to what limits I can go. For me, it was almost like an adrenaline thing.
It is.
This breathed new life into that. Like, I did stuff I never thought I was capable of doing. I actually set PRs throughout this thing. I had never squat 225 for 20 before. I had never inclined 255 for 6.
Yep.
I've deadlifted 325, but never for 6 reps before, like I did on this program.
Yeah.
And, I was doing new exercises, trying new ways, and I've literally found things that my body could do that I didn't know it could do before. And that was what I was getting out of this. And what I was hoping to give back to the universe through this was, writing the articles, sharing the social media stuff, hopefully putting people on notice that, you've got more than you think you do. You just need to go find it. It took me almost 100 hours of training and a month of hell to find it, but I found it. And that's what it's going to take for a lot of other people. It's going to take to go through a personal hell, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But on the other side of it, there is greatness. And I don't know if I can call what I did greatness or not. That would kind of be self-absorbent on my part. But if other people decide to say that, it's fine. But whatever it was, I found it. And hopefully it's going to propel me to doing far more things after this.
And that's the thing, too, is like, just like you said, it's like, you don't want to say for yourself, but I will say it for you. What you did was great. What you did was inspirational. What you did, it was a trigger point that you caught on camera, because a lot of us have trigger points. Like, I remember my trigger point, and when it had flipped that switch, it made sense. And just like you, I flipped this switch, it made sense. And at the end of this, I got exactly what I want. And that's what I want people to understand. It's like, it's recognizing like, this is what it's going to take. This is what I'm going to do. And that's exactly what you did. You literally fucking stepped on the throttle, went full gear, hit every fucking peak, every RPM right on the right shift, and changed yourself. Like, even the before and after pictures that you showed of yourself, it's like, it's night and day. And to be able to it's like, I'm 40, you're 41, and we're at this age where it's check this out, because I'm this old, because I'm at this age, you can still fucking do it. And that's exactly why I fucking loved watching this the whole time, because it's like, no, check this the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter your situation. You have to fucking be like, guess what I'm fucking doing today? I'm getting these fucking gains. And that's exactly what you did.
I've heard so many people talk about when they were getting 40, things they could do back in high school. And that's almost become a stereotypical meme about, when the dad with the gray comes in and talks about what he did back in high school and, the LOLs or whatever. I'm not that dude.
Yep.
I am that dude that's going to talk about what I'm going to do.
And what I'm doing now.
And I've done things at 41 that I damn sure didn't do at 21, not even at 31. Like, at the risk of breaching maybe a little too much confidence, take it as you will. I turned 42 years old in June, and as far as I'm concerned now, I haven't hit my peak yet.
And you're not. That's the one thing I love is the 40 is definitely the not middle age anymore. It's like, no, the shit that we've learned now is what we're going to learn to fucking progress from this point on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that personal part of it actually excites me. The fact that, I could say as I near 42 years old that I may not have reached my full potential yet. And that's what this challenge did for me. Like, it taught me a lot about myself that, I would have never imagined before. And, look, it inspired my son. Mm-hmm. My son, is looking at me and he's like, my dad's literally a superhero, because these people are talking about, how I've inspired him and how I'm helping them. And he knows about my past career when I used to help victims of child abuse and domestic violence victims. Mm-hmm. So as far as he's concerned right now, when you ask him who his superhero is, he'll say Roger Rock Lockridge. And
that's it.
As a dad, nothing beats it. Not even close. That alone made all this worth it. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. I know exactly what you fucking... And one of the things that I love is just like how you said, my son is inspired. But the thing is like, you're inspiring him in this way where he's going to grow up wanting to do this. You know what I'm saying? Because then, like I said, you can't force nothing on the kids, like when it comes to like trying to get them to do things. But when they see you grinding it out, working hard as fuck, really putting 110% effort in, guess what they do? They follow suit. They do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And, it's going to be kind of cool that he can use the internet to look back on all this years from now. Mm-hmm. And, to look at my stuff that I'm going to keep from all this years from now. Or he could be in the same barn with me training the way I did. And he's going to be able to work on that own legacy of his. Mm-hmm. One of the things I've told him time and time again is your job is to eventually get better than I ever was.
Exactly.
My job is to make sure it's a hell of a mountain that you're going to climb.
Yep.
And, I'm going to do my job. You're going to have a hell of a mountain ahead of you, so you best be prepared. But at the end of it, I want to see you go over top of it. And I want to see you do far more than I've done. Because as far as I'm concerned, that would be my greatest accomplishment as a father.
That's the truth, though. That is the greatest accomplishment of your kids. You know what I'm saying? My oldest is 22 now. Mm-hmm. And he's already doing way better than I was doing at 22. And it makes me proud, because I'm like, he's like you know what I'm saying, when you see that happen, you know what I'm saying, all my other kids, it's just, you know, when they see you working and they're watching you, and like I said, I'd never ever pushed any agenda, I've never pushed anything that I was doing on them. I'm like, this is what I do. And when they start following suit and taking on those attributes of what you put out there, oh my God, it's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Well, I have a stepson who's 19. I call him mine, but he's technically my stepson.
Yeah.
And one of his big things now is gaming, want to start a Twitch channel. And he's got these other members of his family. God love them. You know, they're old school. Oh, you need to go to college. You need to do this. You need to do this. Well, guess who was the template for him to be like, no, I can do this if I want, because Roger did it.
Yep.
And, you know, he did his thing with fitness writing, and he made it to where he was, you know, making his living from it. I can do it too.
Yep.
It's kind of hard to argue that.
You can't argue the facts.
So, no, you know, but the other fact is, you know, he's got a heck of a grind just like I did. And there's no making that easier.
Oh, yeah.
So,
there's none.
But, you know, everybody's got their own individual grind from this. And, you know, I did this Arnold thing. You know, for anybody else, it could be any other form of training. It could be any other form of business. It could be any other form of life. Just the overall goal, though, is, or the premise is, you're more capable than you think. Just pursue it. Get after it. Don't be afraid of the hard. Embrace the hard. And go freaking get it, because you deserve it.
Yes.
And it's kind of weird that this was how it played out for me to be able to serve as that example. But because a lot of people would have normally assumed, oh, this would have been better if a bodybuilder did it. Like if a pro or a top amateur or some other bigger name in the sport than I am. But as some of Arnold's team told me, no, it's actually better that you're the guy that did it. Number one, this was all organic. There was no strategy behind it. Number two, somebody had to be crazy enough to be willing to do it. And then number three, somebody had to be dedicated enough to do it. Excuse me. And
all right.
And I guess I was that guy. And as long as it was, then, you know, hopefully it will show other people what they can do. And I'd love to see it. I hope I get tagged by a bunch of people showing, hey, man, I did this and I didn't think I could.
Yep.
That would absolutely make my lifetime. That would be the greatest return on investment for all those hours in the barn.
Me too right now. And you're going to get a lot of those because, like I said, people that are at our age that we grew up, that we see, they're going to, like I said, it's going to show them because, like I said, we're getting to a lot of people right now that are at the age where you're like, I just can't. I don't have enough energy. I don't have enough time. But the thing is when you see a little spark of like, oh, because you're it's like that spark of hope. That's exactly what you just ignited. And it's like, check this out. This is what everybody's capable of, because if I can do it, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the even with the premise of my show, it's like I always try to use myself as an example. But when I can find examples that are just like me and push and promote and fucking be like, look, here it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's the beautiful thing about it. Because like I said, as I was watching your videos, you steaming in your garage, just ice cold. You know what I'm saying? Like people, when your temperature is hotter than the air, you know what I'm saying? People don't know that feeling, because I've had numerous times where I'd come out in the gym in the middle of the night and just. But the thing is that you're training in that. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those epic pictures, epic videos that you put out, because it's just like, that this is what it takes. That
is another one that I have to credit my wife for, because she was doing pictures for me for, you know, some of these features. We were trying to get as much content as we could for this. And I'm standing there in between sets, and she was like, give me the phone. And I'm like, what? She was like, give me the phone. And she flips it. She goes, stand there and don't move. And there it was. And that thing, that may be the closest I've ever come to going viral, with the exception of the articles. In terms of social media, I suck at social media. But that one actually took off quite a bit. That was pretty cool. But yeah, going back to your point, we're in that age range where one of the things I say is people try to find problems for solutions instead of flipping the script. You know, when it came to having all this laid out in front of me, here's what we're going to do. Okay, I need to do this. We may have to do this later. We can take care of these commitments while he's in school. After he's out of school, I could do this on the way home. That way I could get to the barn. I'll take protein shakes with me. We'll pre-make fruit salads, and I can keep them in my Wolfpack bag.
Yep.
Finding the solutions for things. I've seen so many people talking about, I got to get up at 5 because I got to be at work at 5:30, and or I can't get up at 5 to go in at 5:30 because I got to be at work at 7, and then I got the kids this, and I'm dealing with this injury right now, and it's like you're trying to find problems for solutions, and that's not going to be it. I don't care what part of life you're talking about. If you're trying to find the ways that you can't, then you ain't going to.
Yep.
And then all you're going to do is keep spinning your brain in a circle because you're going to want to do this, but you find reasons why you can't, and it's just a vicious cycle.
It is.
That leads nowhere. And, I mean, I've been there plenty of times because of all the bouts of depression and things that I had dealt with over my years. And that seemed to be when things finally took a turn the right way for me in business and in life, is when instead of finding problems for solutions, let's find solutions to problems. And even though if we can't apply them all in a day, let's apply them one at a time. And, hey, I'm one step closer. I'm another step closer. And then here I am. And I mean, it's worked to being from homeless to a homeowner, from unemployed to self-employed. And from now, former guy that was just training just for the sake of training and stress relief to somebody that trained like arguably the greatest bodybuilder of all time for a month. It works.
It does. It's like I said, it's just so crazy because, like I said, I love hearing. I love these it's not that you're even an underdog. It's just, I love winning. I love when people fucking take charge, and with you taking charge. And like I said, we've communicated a little bit back and forth on the social media. I've had you on my other podcast for Legends of Iron. And just the thing is, like, you're working in an industry, you're writing for these great epic people that we all love and adore. And these beautiful articles that come out, because like I said, I've read almost damn near all your articles, because every time they pop up, I go through them and I read them. And like I said, and I used to be a big subscriber to actual print, which I wish would come back, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I agree.
But the thing is like, for you to take on the challenge, for even Arnold and his team to acknowledge what you're doing, it just pushed that confidence level up that much. And to see what you have planned to keep up, to do the future, and to fucking push past that point to be that shining example is just fucking epic. And, like, on the thought process of what's going to happen from this point on, are you going to continue training and continue showing your training and like, and try to at least try to wave the flag as much as you can for people to see?
Yeah. I'll answer that second question in a second, but when you talked about writing all the articles I do for all the platforms I do, that kind of served as an air motivator for me, because, look, you've seen in sports where writers get bashed and pundits get criticized. When it comes to my career, I'm literally writing about and interviewing the greatest of the great in strength sports, CrossFit, powerlifting, strongman, bodybuilding. I've done 2 CrossFit WODs in my life. I've done a few push-pulls. I've done a few transformation challenges, but other than that, I've never competed on a major strength platform. I wanted to feel like I kind of belong in the conversation. I mean, the athletes respected me. Nobody ever gave me any shit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want to show them that, look, I can push myself to a level that you may not have thought possible too. And I think it's one of the most things I'm proud of with this, because the guy who was the inspiration behind this is still arguably the number 1 ambassador for bodybuilding and fitness on the planet.
Yeah.
And my understanding from his team is I have flat earned his respect.
That's what I'm talking about.
To me, that's a big freaking deal, and that's something that's going to carry me forward. Now, am I going to keep doing the training thing? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I've already got my next goal in mind, and you're going to be the first to hear this because I just came up with it about 4 hours ago. So when I did the 225 by 20 squat video, I now have videos of me squatting 225 for 20 reps, benching 225 for 20 reps, and trap bar deadlifting 225 for 20 reps.
Hell yeah.
I want to do all 3 in one workout.
Woo,
in less than 30 minutes.
Oof.
So I'm going to kind of start building myself up for that. And June 29th is my 42nd birthday. That's when I'm hoping to do it.
Oh, well, I'm going to be fucking waiting for that video to pop up, because let me tell you right now, for most people don't even understand the burn on a 225 squat or the burn on a 225 trap bar. And then the bench for 20, man, that's combine numbers right there.
Yeah, well, I've actually had NFL players tell me that I outbenched them in the combine. and I was like twice their age. And this morning, I had done 315 close grip for a single, and I posted it on Instagram.
Ooh.
So I was like, let me touch 225 and just kind of see how it feels.
Mm-hmm.
And, boom, 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 boom. And then I was doing some shrugs. I'm just kind of loosening myself up, trying to – the worst thing you could do when you recover from something like this is stay still.
Yeah. Oh.
Because it's almost like psychologically the pain sets in and gets comfy. So, the best way to overcome soreness from movement is movement.
Yep.
So that's what I was doing. And then I just kind of got to goofing off because I think I deserve it after the 4 weeks I've been through. So I went ahead and loaded 225 on the trap bar and was like, let me see what I know. It's not a technical powerlifting deadlift, so people don't yell at me for that.
Yeah, you're not. Me too. We're not in a competition. A trap bar is a deadlift still.
So, I knock out a few reps and it's like, I've done all 3 of these for 20 on video before.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can do all 3 in the same workout. And then I was like, well, okay, how long is it going to take me to do that? And then I got to thinking about, well, by doing it an hour, that gives me 20-minute breaks in between. That's not enough. Or that's too much, rather. So
yeah,
I'm going to try doing half an hour. And my 42nd birthday is going to be the day I do it. And I've got enough place that I can literally just set up all 3 stations.
Oh.
So I don't have to worry as much about transitioning from one to the other.
Yeah, just walk on over.
Right. So June 29th, 2023, my 42nd birthday, I'm going to try to squat 225, bench 225, and trap bar 225 all for 20 reps within a half hour.
All right. And this one I'm going to tell you, if you can, get as many cam as you can to film from every angle you can, because let me tell you right now, you're going to want them transitional shots. So you want one from the front, one from the side, and then as you're walking over, you just reset. Oh, my God. It's going to be a fucking epic fucking video.
I'm looking forward to the challenge from it. It's going to be unique. And I've never been a single rep superstar when it comes to powerlifting. I think the best I've ever done on squat is 455 for a triple. If it hadn't been for my knee hurting, I would have tried 500, but I don't know if I would have got it. I've benched 405 in training, and I've pulled 405. I've never been a super deadlifter. But for whatever reason, when it comes to reps, I can just knock them out. And I can go a little bit heavier when it comes to the reps than I think a lot of people could.
Oh, yeah.
So to do 60 total reps in less than 30 minutes between those 3 types of movements, and, think about it, your lower body's going to be taxed with the squat, even though the shoulders and the back are involved.
Yep.
The upper body's going to be taxed with the bench, and then the deadlift is the full body one.
Yep.
It's going to be a twisted challenge, but I'm looking forward to it, actually.
Nice. It's going to be in freaking scene. Are you going to be using a lifting belt as you're doing this?
Oh, yeah. I got to be safe.
100%. Yeah. What kind of belt are you using?
I don't know if I want to throw that name out there or not.
Because you ain't got to. You ain't got to.
No, I'm actually good with it. I used to be a Harbinger athlete many, many moons ago, and they make good equipment. The equipment I use now is Chic.
Yeah.
And I'm not sponsored by them. I literally went out and bought their stuff just like everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
So, I put my dollars behind that name recommendation. I have a Chic belt. I have Chic knee wraps or knee sleeves, excuse me.
Yeah.
And I have the Chic elbow sleeves. And I will probably use all 3 for this because
that's what I'm talking about. Like I said, and that's the thing too, is like, because I know when you start getting into the numbers, especially getting into those reps, man, a belt and knees, like all this is important safety equipment that people like, when you're young, you don't need them. But when you're at our age, let me tell you right now, that little bit of support that it gives is exactly what it is to keep you in fucking line, because it's important. You know what I'm saying? I just want to he understand people when we're talking about right now is he has to make sure that because doing that many reps in that amount of time, I'm sorry, man, that's brutal. And it's a lot of it's going to be a lot of stress on you. So I want to make sure that you are doing it safe.
Yeah, absolutely. And, here's the thing. I've had a lot of previous injuries and stuff when I was a kid, regardless. When I started training, I was still dealing with knee issues from basketball. I have broken both of my wrists in my past. This wrist, they actually messed up during surgery, and I have nerve damage as a result. Ooh. So this grip is gone. Like, I have to use straps if I deadlift heavy. So, because of that, I had to go with the safety equipment going in. Yeah. Now, I mean, not everybody can be Mike O'Hearn. You could start out with no equipment, and if you're able to keep yourself healthy for that long, great. Yeah. But unfortunately, the majority of us do need something. Yeah. And look, I used it. I used the knee sleeves and the belt during my Arnold challenge. Yep. I didn't use my elbow sleeves during bench, but I did use the wrist straps, and I use lifting straps for most of my back stuff because I didn't want my grip to give out. Yeah. So yeah, definitely safety first. I
Yeah.
mean, nobody who talks crap about you using safety stuff is going to be sitting there with you at the house while you're recovering from an injury.
You know
their
what I'm
opinion
saying?
don't matter.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Those trolls can keep to them damn selves because, like I said, I just discovered a soft belt that I really, because I got I used to have a sheath where it's, you just, like I said, it's just a lever action. I had that lever action, loved it. It was perfect. But when I deadlift, because I'm 6'5", so like my up and down is like it's a hard collapse.
Yeah.
And so I actually started using Strength Athletics or Evolution Athletics soft belt, and it's pushed my deadlift and my squat exponentially. Like I said, it makes it so much easier because it's completely wide all the way around. It's just one of the best, and that's why I was like wanting to make sure. I was like, because they're not sponsoring my podcast either.
Yeah.
But I'll throw it out there because as of right now, it's the best soft belt that I've ever had. That I'm not needing a hard belt with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brian Shaw makes great equipment, and that's Brian Shaw's company for those that don't know. Yeah. And Nick Best, one of Ben's co-hosts on Legends of Iron, is also a Evolution Athletics athlete. I know they make good stuff. They've gotten quite a bit of positive attention. Mm-hmm. I don't have any yet. If I ever get the chance, I will get some and review it. But right now, what I got's working pretty good. Regardless of the brand, just make sure it's quality for you and that you stay safe. That's the most important part of this for anybody that's listening to this. Just do what you got to do to stay safe and get your gains if you're going to commit hard to a gym program.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. That's what I'm saying. And that's the truth, though. You know what I'm saying? And, it's almost about an hour, and I know we got a time limit here, but what I want you to do is to tell people, like I said, I want you to tell people here in your own words why they should not just do the Arnold challenge, but to challenge themselves and from the experiences that you've learned today, that you've learned through this whole month.
All right. So in regards to the Arnold challenge, like I said, this was no organized thing. So it just kind of came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. But if you want to do your own particular version of this and you have the hours to commit and the food that you want to go all in on, then the last article on muscleandfitness.com, the one of me and Arnold both doing the double bicep pose, which that's actually pretty funny that I have a photo with Arnold on Muscle Fitness. There is a link in there to a program that he had shared with Muscle Fitness in the past. You can take that on and see how it goes. But whether it's your own personal fitness challenge, your strength contest, whatever form it is that you are trying to pursue, first of all, make yourself believe that you deserve whatever the rewards that come from that, because you do. And you're the one that judges that. You're the one that judges what your results are going to be and what your reward should be from that. And, Ben has said on his podcasts, in the past, other people don't get to decide that for you. You decide that for you by the effort you put in. Whatever effort you put in is the results you're going to deserve. And you should by all means go all out and get everything you deserve. But if you do want to look at this from a selfless perspective, the way I looked at it from a selfless perspective is, even though I was having to commit all of this, my family was ultimately going to benefit from it. Number one, because I was going to be a healthier version of myself and I was going to be here for them longer. Number two, I was going to be a more confident version of myself, which meant I was going to execute in business better, and I was going to help them prosper from a family and a business standpoint. Number three, just an overall better me is going to permeate positively and help other people. And number four, sharing everything the way I did, being transparent, is going to show that it as proof that it can be done. So all those factors in together just overall made everything worth it. Figure out whatever it is for you that's going to make it worth it. Determine that you deserve it, whatever way you need to spin that in your head, and then formulate your plan to execute and go get it, because no one's going to do it for you. I know a lot of people use the phrase, no one's going to save you. Well, no one can ever give you your rewards because you have to go earn them. You didn't get your allowance for nothing. You don't get your paycheck for nothing. You don't get your life benefits for nothing. You got to earn them. But once you earn them, it makes them that much better. And this thing has helped me in ways I would have never imagined it would have. Because I was just thinking about, okay, survive this, get through this, because, they want to see if I could do it. There are people from other places on the planet that I have only seen on TV that have come to me in messages and said, you've inspired me. I'm doing this, this, and this now. And I'm wanting to try to train like Arnold, or I want to try to train like you, or I found your program on bodybuilding.com or Muscle and Strength. I never would have imagined I got something like that out of this. So I guess all that was the best advice I could possibly leave you with. It is, determine what the worth is, determine that you deserve it, formulate your plan, and go get it. Whether it's for you, whether it's for others around you, and you just need that to be your motivation, find it and then go get it. Don't expect it to be easy. But once, you decide that you're going to make that commitment to the hard, get everything you can out of it, because you're already there. If you're already going through it, you might as well get all you can back.
Hell yeah. And let me tell you something right now, brother. After your birthday, we'll sit down on this podcast and talk about the preparation, talk about what you did, and what the fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And, if anybody else that had missed this 4-week challenge thing, he was talking about the transparency earlier. Mm-hmm. The transparency part of that was sharing all the workouts I did, the good, bad, and the indifferent. I actually got the 225 for 20 once, but I didn't hit depth on a single freaking one. I hadn't went as deep as I had thought because I hadn't been under a squat bar for 6 months. So I was trying to get reacquainted. Yeah. So I wanted to share a video and I couldn't because it sucked. So I actually went live on my stories and was like, this sucked. I went for it and I didn't get it. I'm sorry. I feel bad. I'm going to try harder next time. The before and after pictures are almost from the exact same spot on the exact same time of day. And I even grew my beard out so you can see it was actually 4 weeks because there's so many of these transformation things. Oh, he went and shaved and changed the lighting and it just looks like that. Yeah. No, everything I did was a legit 28 days. It was 28 days of hell. And you could see every form of evidence that backed that up. Arnold's team was getting logs. If Muscle and Fitness had asked, I was sending them logs too. Yep. They were seeing everything as transparent as it could possibly be because I knew somebody was going to be crazy enough like me to go out and try to do this. And that person needed to know that every set and every rep was done. It may not have been with max weight. It may have been less than I wanted to physically give. But whatever the most was that day, I gave it. And that's which could be another form of advice as we part ways with this. Your 100 is not going to be the same every day. Yep. Your 100 one day is going to feel like 200 another day. Or something that feels like 50 is going to feel like 100. Whatever that is, whatever it is you feel like you can give it. And don't feel bad if you don't have enough. Arnold even said he didn't feel like he had enough every single day. So that was something they were actually reminding me of. Is like, look, okay, you can't curl 100 pounds today, but if you can curl 60 and you can get contractions, do it because Arnold didn't curl 150 every day. Yep. So make sure you keep that in mind too. If you're going on your journey, whatever it is, that your 100 is not going to be the same every day. Just whatever that 100 is, give it, and you'll get the 100 back later on. And that's what I'm fucking talking about. That's the inspirational shit that I love. Roger, thank you for coming on. Thank you for joining me here on this podcast because guess the fuck what? This is exactly what this podcast is about. Fucking getting people fucking ready to do shit that they're not ready to do and just pushing them forward, taking that step, handling shit. And I fucking love it. I fucking absolutely fucking love it. Thank you, Roger. And we're definitely I'm going to have, like I said, I'm going to reach out right after your birthday so we can get this back on. Yeah, man. We'll be back on and we'll be 2 for 2. I'll be celebrating my second different challenge win. You know what I'm saying? And with that all said, guess the fuck what? I'm the angry motherfucking dad. You want to watch my shit? IGTV, YouTube. You want us to Spreaker, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, SoundCloud, Deezer, iHeartRadio. This motherfucker's everywhere. You can easily fucking find it. Rate, review, like, subscribe, all that fucking bullshit. I'm also part of the Inner Circle Podcast Network, group of powerful podcasters out there sharing their shit. We have shows as Creatures of the Night, The Hood Diner, The Untrained Eye, The Plunge, Failing Hollywood, Simmons and More podcasts. Shit happens when you party naked, too hot for the internet. So it's on Patreon/Team Almy. And we'll see y'all motherfuckers on the next one. Fly.
Always living. Always living. Always living. Always living. Always living. Always living.